Greetings, YouTube. I am, today is a Mercury day. And because on Wednesdays I do lives with Adina on IG, I have not yet figured out how to be in both places simultaneously. So I'm doing this separate for YouTube. So today is a Mercury day, and Mercury is currently at the 24th degree of Capricorn. And Mercury is the planet that governs our thinking and our minds. And one of the things that I am focusing on this month, because it's the month of what they call Black History, every day is Black History, but how can we, as Black people or all people, free ourselves from a system that is oppressive, inhumane, and out of alignment with our well being? And so, with Mercury at the 24th degree of Capricorn, we get to look at the degree is humility. And it's really the thing that in our Western culture, we define humility as this thing where we make ourselves small to make other people feel good. And really, that's not what humility is at all. Humility is an opportunity to make yourself great so that you can be in service to all people. It's not the other way around. It's not make yourself small so that you don't outshine other people. It's make yourself great so that you can serve others. And so Mercury is our mind and our thinking. And so literally, I have been asking myself, what are the ways that what thought patterns do I have that keep me in this oppressive system? What ways of thinking am I participating in that keep me in the oppressive system? And I just will ask myself that question. I don't necessarily look for an answer because I'm really inviting my soul to show me the way. I'm inviting my higher self to reveal to me the thought patterns that would keep me in the oppressive system. So, for instance, one of the things that I see in myself is in our country, there's this way that we sort of placate, right? It's like, let's not act like, let's not tell the whole truth. Let's play nice so that people don't feel what's actually really going on underneath the surface. And so I know for myself, I've had a tendency to what we call as Black people code shift, where if I'm in a group of Black people, I can be more myself and more authentic and more truthful. And then when I'm in a group of white people, I put on, I'm like, he, because I want them to feel okay. Like it's not even about wanting them to feel okay. It's really, let me just ask myself what that is. It's because I've been indoctrinated into a system that would have me pretend and deny my true feelings rather than invite people who benefit from the oppressive system, rather than inviting them into a real, authentic connection with me and me with them. And so I will smile and act like everything's okay and not be in my truth and not really be fully in my honesty, because it feels easier to do that than to actually be present to the confrontation that is going on inside of me and give them the invitation to be with me in that or not. And so this is Mercury, right? Mercury also governs the media and the stories that we tell. And so one of the things that I have seen in our country, in our media system, is that the stories that have been told about Black people have been through the lens of whiteness. And so, because we don't tell our own stories, they are telling the story, right? They own the studios, they write the stories, they all, and so the stories that are told are not fully aligned with our truth. And so literally it's turn the media off. Turn off the don't participate. That's what I have to remind myself, that I'm not going to participate in the false narratives that are a part of the conditioning that would have me experience or believe that something is happening that is not real. I remember when I was a very young girl, really like a teenager, not a teenager, maybe early 20s. And my grandmother used to listen to the news all the time. And no, I was a teenager. I was a teenager because my grandmother died when I was 21. She used to listen to the news all the time. And I would hear all these horrible things. And I remember saying to her, I don't know anybody who has all that stuff going on with them. I don't know people. And we were in dire experiences. We were in really painful experiences, but I didn't know people because the stories were being told by the people who run the system. And guess what the system is about? The system is only about one thing: money, money. And Mercury rules commerce and money. And so, literally, we get to look at those stories that we tell about money, how we give our power to money, how we invest ourselves in capitalistic ideas, how we pursue these things, and just question: is this in alignment with my well being? Is this in alignment with my freedom? Is this thought? Is this story? Is this narrative in alignment with my power? Is the story, is this narrative in alignment with my freedom? I don't care what body you're in, it doesn't matter, because it's also important that I have discovered this is why I study, so that I can understand. Race is a construct that was created for the absolute purpose of the enslavement of Black people. Before we did this, before 1490 something, there was no racism. People were just people, and we identified through our heritage and our tribes and where we were in the world. We didn't identify through color. But when they created slavery, they drew a narrative that said that Black people were inferior for the purpose to allow them to feel okay about the horrendous treatment of Black people. This is how it was created. This is absolutely factual. You can do the research yourself and find out. And so when we understand that, when I understand that it's a made up construct, that it was actually just created to generate money and wealth and systems, when I understand that, then I can ask myself, how am I participating? How am I continuing to put things in practice that no longer serve my well-being? And as I begin to ask myself the questions, like I said, the soul, these questions are not like, how you doing today? These are internal queries that connect us to our higher selves. And as you live into the question, the answers will become your life, right? Like you'll start to see it, like, oh, here. So it's not an egoic thing. It's not in the ego. It's literally a spiritual evolution that goes on inside of yourself to query your your how your energy how your energy is participating in a system or various systems, and if the way you are participating is actually serving you, serving well-being, serving love, serving open-heartedness, serving freedom, serving truth, or is it serving opposites? So today on a Mercury retrograde day, we're in the last day of Mercury retrograde. Tomorrow's the last day, it goes direct. So before we want to look at how we're connected to the whole, because the degree is humility, and understand that and ask ourselves, are we aligned to our greatness? Are we aligned to our greatness? And how can we disengage from behaviors, beliefs, thought patterns that would have us stay stuck in old systems that are not for the highest and best for all involved? And so, with that, thank you guys for coming. I'm grateful that you're here, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace and blessings, everyone. Bye bye.